He was an ordinary man, just like any of us are. He was born when? October, November, obviously it's the first date, right? So what was the first date? August 31st, 1918. August 31st, 1918, Mitchell Paige was born. That right there, gentlemen, was a great day. He was just like any of us, from a small town in Pennsylvania. Anybody from Pennsylvania? Anybody from the Northeast United States? Where? Ohio? That's not Northeast.
That's right next to neighbors.
All right, fine. Yeah, you're a Buckeye fan, aren't you? You're fired. All right. So, the Northeast, got it? Anybody like to play baseball? Nobody here likes to play baseball. Are you kidding me? He was a huge baseball fanatic. Loved baseball. Matter of fact, he was so good at baseball, he played for the Marine Corps and Navy team. Or all Marine Corps Navy team. That's what they used to call them back in the day. Now it's the all Marine Corps team. Loved playing baseball. His mother and father were Serbs. Right, so they were from Europe. They migrated over here to America on a military type program, just like in the Navy. Where's Doc at? In the Navy, there are a lot of Filipino American docs. There are a lot of Filipino American chiefs right now. Chief, senior chief, master chief. There are a lot of them because they all came to America at the same time to join our military, and then now they are all here as chiefs. I don't know if you ever noticed that. I mean,
I'll be chief next year.
Right? So, now with that being said, he loved to play baseball. He did all that stuff, went in the Marine Corps. What date do you think he went in the Marine Corps? Think about it. What was the second date I told you? September 1st, 1942. He went to the Marine Corps the day after he was born. Really?
1936.
1936. 18 years later. On his 18th birthday, he joined the United States Marine Corps. If that is not motivating enough for you all to get out and go do some disrupting somebody, I don't know what is. All right. On his 18th birthday, he went to Parris Island. Yeah, where it all began, absolutely, because there was no real boot camp in San Diego yet. So, he went to Parris Island. Then comes October 26, 1942. What happened? What is about that time era?
That's about World War II.
About World War II time. Solomon Islands. What were we doing over there? Battle of, starts with a G, ends with Canal. Man, y'all are smart. All right. Battle of Guadalcanal. So who were we fighting? We were fighting
Come
the
on.
Spanish.
Come on.
Way off.
The flag is white with a red circle.
Who were we fighting?
Japanese.
The Japanese, right? So, in that side of the world, we were fighting the Japanese, but who were we also fighting? Anybody know? Up there in Europe, right? We're fighting others, okay? So we're focusing on the Japanese. October 26th, 1942, Solomon Islands, battle for Guadalcanal. Put yourself back in that era and think about it. What kind of gear do you think they had back then? Nothing? They didn't have weapons?
They had weapons.
Okay.
And Kevlar, that was about it.
They had a knife?
LBB.
LBV? What kind of LBV do they have? It's what we used to call an H harness. Right? The A2 gear. I'm sure the guy already knows what I'm talking about. That H harness. One little strap that went down your back. Looked like an H. You just strap it onto your cartridge belt. And that's it. And we were rocking and rolling. Look what y'all got now. All kinds of high-speed stuff. What was the weather like in October? Who's been in Okinawa? Okay, October time frame. Sergeant Hurst, we spent time together in Okinawa, right? And it's humid around that time. Okay? What else? What are some other things that we can talk about?
What time?
Fog of war.
Fog of war.
You said that's
What's the difference between the fog of war back then and fog of war now? No difference. We got to talk about gear. We talked about the weather. We talked about what else? What are some other things we can talk about between now and then? What about the type of Marine?
A hardcore fucking.
Combat mindset is a little different. A lot of people are drafted.
Combat mindset back then was much different than what the combat mindset is today, right? Okay. Well, Mitchell Paige was a platoon sergeant of a machine gun team with 2nd Battalion, 7th Marine, 7th Marine Regiment, 1st Marine Division. Right up the street. Good to go? Anybody here from 27? Imagine that. Okay, so let's talk about Colonel Mitchell Paige some more. There he was, in charge of his machine gun team. His job was to ensure that his Marines were putting fire downrange against the Japanese forces to protect the CP, which was behind him. Pretty standard, right? That's what we do. So his machine gun team was set up. They're putting rounds downrange. All of a sudden, one of his guns goes down. The Marine falls over. Staff Sergeant, what does Mitchell Paige do?
He goes get the machine and starts engaging the enemy.
So Mitchell Paige comes down and grabs that machine gun and starts laying rounds downrange, taking them out, still controlling fire with his whole entire line. Realizing that the amount of forces that are coming through are getting much larger. So while all this is going on, he manages to get on the radio and says, hey, I need reinforcements now. Now. Continue to put rounds down range. All of a sudden, butter jam. What does that mean?
Weapons jam.
Weapons jam. Does he have time to sit here and continue to do this? You know, making his weapon clear and all that stuff? No. The weapon gets destroyed. Done. As that's happening, the Marine over to his right-hand side, far right-hand side, goes down. Sergeant Hurst, what does he do?
Goes back with no weapon.
Why? Why would he do that? If he went to this weapon and it went down, why would he go to that weapon way over there, you know, 200 yards or so away, if he knows that weapon's going to go down? Why would he do that?
You can still get some rounds already before it goes down.
Okay, so he can still get some rounds on range?
He doesn't know it's going to go down.
So he beats feet over, grabs that weapon, continues to put rounds down range, putting them down range. Still waiting for those reinforcements to show up. Weapon gets shot, gets destroyed. Done. Simultaneously, that last Marine in the middle goes down. Mortally wounded. Mortally wounded. So we have Marines going down to the left, to the right, and in the center. But yet, by the grace of God, that man is still standing there, fighting the fight. How does that make you feel? It's pretty awesome, right? I mean, it should give you goosebumps on your arms thinking like, wow, even though his Marines are going down, what kind of stress do you think is that when you have Marines going down to your left and to your right? I was just talking to that devil dog right there, just talking to him. And now he's dead. I was just talking to that Marine over there. Now he's dead. He has that last weapon. As he's putting rounds down range, his reinforcements show up, and the Japanese forces are continuing to push through. He gets them online and says what? Fixed bayonets. What does that mean? Somebody tell me. Corporal Blanca, what does that mean?
To strike your opponent. Kill him with a bayonet.
Okay, kind of.
It means take the bayonet out. Lock them into the
There you go. Attach that bayonet onto your weapon system. We're going to go through that enemy. And so he did. He led the charge utilizing bayonet techniques to push the enemy back far enough to where they can get control of the fight again. For those actions right there, Colonel Mitchell Paige was awarded the Medal of Honor. He was presented that medal in the spring of the following year, 1943. But oh, his story gets better. December 17th, that was one more date we have to talk about, right? December 17th, 1942, because of his actions of what he did and how proud America was and how proud the Commandant was. Anybody know who the Commandant was at that time? Not a clue, huh? General Alexander, you still don't know? Vandergrift, okay? They win the candy, that's okay. But we were thinking about it, right? That's what matters, as long as we're thinking about it. He was appointed a field commissioning to second lieutenant because of what he did. Because he was so, as we like to call, BA, badass, because of his actions, of what he did, how proud he stood to defend his Marines, to defend his country, put his life on the line, service before self. He was appointed second lieutenant. What do we think about that? Corporal Robbins? Do you think that could be you?
I hope so. I would strive to do that.
You strive to, absolutely, but we don't know until that time comes, right? And that's the reality of it. You can talk all you want, but when that day shows up, then that's when you really determine whether you have what it takes to be a Colonel Mitchell Paige. Colonel Mitchell Paige, after that, continued on with his career, did more campaigns. He resided out in, down the hill, in La Quinta. Everybody knows where La Quinta is at, right? There's a middle school named after Colonel Mitchell Paige. There is a museum, Sergeant's Course. Who's been to Sergeant's Course here? Anybody? Nobody's been to Sergeant's Course here? What's wrong with y'all? All right. So Sergeant's Course, up the street, there's Paige Hall. In November of 2003, Colonel Paige no longer guarded our gates here. He decided to go upstairs and guard those pearly white gates at the age of 85. Before he passed away, he was on his base when they opened up Paige Hall, and yours truly was there. And this is why I speak of Colonel Paige. He sat there in his wheelchair, cut the ribbon to open up the museum, and we had an opportunity to talk to him. I went up to him and I said, or I asked him, sir, what were the differences that you noticed between the Marines back then and the Marines now? What do you think his answer was?
Not a damn thing.
He was pissed. He was furious about how Marines conduct themselves today to how they conducted themselves back then. Yes, we have the Corporal Jason Dunhams. Yes, we have the Colonel Mitchell Pages. We have some of those good Marines. But we have all these other stupid things that Marines do to screw it all up, to give the Marine Corps a bad name. Those Marines that urinated on the Taliban soldiers, right? All those rapes and scandals that are going on out there in Afghanistan and Iraq right now because of the way Marines are conducting themselves. He was pissed. The Marines of today are nothing to what the Marines were back then. How does that make you feel? Marines of today?
Garbage.
Like garbage. Why does that make you feel like garbage?
Because I joined the Marine Corps because of like watching movies and stuff like that back then. That inspired me. I wanted to live up to that. For them to tell us that we suck, that we're not fulfilling what we're meant to do. That's like a letdown of somebody that you look higher up to.
Marines nowadays question authority all the time. Why? Why? Why do I gotta do that for? I don't want to do that. You think the Marines of yesteryear did that? Not even close. There was no questioning of orders. You did what you were supposed to do because you were defending the Constitution of the United States. Today, that's a different story. The Marines have their own personal things that they're defending. And if they don't like it, they don't want to do it. Now, is that what a Marine should be doing? Is that what a warrior should be doing? Is that what a martial arts instructor should be doing? So I ask you this. What does Colonel Paige's actions, what does it have to do with our Marine Corps martial arts program? Corporal Crow.
It kind of gives us like an outline of breed to kind of look up to and kind of follow and, inspire to be like. Not every Marine, there's that 10%, and I have a whole story that goes into that, but that 10% has grown throughout the Marine Corps' history, from 10% to 20 and 30%, and then the crack became a gap, and Marines started becoming slack, and it doesn't set an example for anything to follow. Now the Marine Corps is becoming units as a group rather than the elite,
Okay, so I'll ask the question again to somebody else. You didn't answer. Sergeant Thomas, what does Colonel Mitchell Paige's actions, in which he was awarded the Medal of Honor, have to do with our Marine Corps martial arts program?
To start, just like you tell us every day, he was thinking about others, not himself, and then he demonstrated, obviously, bayonet techniques as well.
Anybody want to tell anything else? Sergeant Cardona?
He demonstrated all three of our disciplines. He used the synergy Mcmap.
So let's get into that. That's where I was headed next. What are our three synergies of the Marine Corps martial arts program? We talk about it all the time.
Character.
Character. Okay, so what kind of character did he display?
Outlook.
I'm sorry?
Leaders,
A leader's outlook?
like leader, just a courageous character.
Courageous. Okay. Maximum amount of courage, right? Imagine if you were fighting a fight right now and one by one, bing, 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 they all go down. And it is just you that's left. You could do this, right? But he didn't. He stayed and fought. Courage, absolutely. Courage is what? The absence of fear. What else?
He had a lot of mental strength.
Mental. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the mental discipline, right? Mental strength. So let's get into that.
You know, as a platoon sergeant, you're in charge of all your men. So to watch all your men go down one at a time, you'd be the only one left. You know, you could be, woe is me, I should just die with them. Or you can be like, my job is to protect this line, and I will do it until I
Absolutely. Very good answer. Very good answer. And then there's one more. What is it?
Physical.
Physical. What we got for physical? Sergeant Hurst?
Charge straight on with bayonets.
He had the physical endurance to, I'm pretty sure his hands were burning. I'm pretty sure he was tired from jabbing so many people in the head and the chest. He just kept going.
From gun to leading a bayonet charge to still being able to jump on a radio and do everything that he needs to do. That is one hell of a warrior right there. Now when you all do your WEFs, your warm-up, your exercise, your flexibility, when you're carrying that monologue, think about Mitchell Paige. Think about what he endured. Think about what he went through. Think about the leadership traits that he put out for his Marines. The leadership principles. Think about all that stuff. Think about the honor, the courage, the commitment that he put out. Think about the mental, the character, the physical disciplines. Think about the techniques that he did. So when you all are sitting here complaining and hurting over an exercise that we do here, think about how bad he had it. And think about what he told me. About what he thought of some of the Marines of today. And how it actually fits. Now, is that you all? No, it is not. You all are going through a transformation now. And you're going to learn what it is to be a martial arts instructor. By the end of this course, Marines, I promise you, you too will have that same mindset that Colonel Paige has. That same mindset that I have and all the staff have. Service before self. To be a true warrior. What do we think? Get your mind thinking? About what?
It's inspiring about each other.
Very inspiring. You're absolutely right. And not only is it inspiring to hear about the Marines of yesteryear, but it's also inspiring to see how it gets your blood flowing. It gets you pumped up. It gets you motivated. Marines, that's what we call a warrior case study. A warrior case study. Where we talk about a Marine who was either a Medal of Honor recipient, not to be confused with a Medal of Honor winner, as some people like to say, Navy Cross, Silver Star, Bronze Star. If it was a personal friend of yours that you were there and you saw all those actions and he received a NAM with a V, but he meant that much and that battle meant so much, if that's what you want to talk about, then that's what you want to talk about. There's the scuttlebutt of, well, What about a civilian? Can we talk about some civilian? Sure. If you can really tie it into what we do as Marines, it's very difficult, but it can be done. I don't recommend it, but it's your option. Okay? That's a warrior case study. That's how you all should give your warrior case studies. So when you all do your second EDIP, after your EDIP, you're going to do a warrior case study. And it's going to be on an individual that you want to do it on. But I'll tell you what, Marines, you better give it 100%. Because you owe that to them. You owe that to them. If you're going to talk about them and then use. So, PFC Littleton, he jumped on a grenade. How would you jump on a grenade? Yeah, I wouldn't either. But he did. That concludes my peer instruction. Is that how we should talk about that Marine who gave his life? The ultimate sacrifice, as the cliche term? No. Think about that when you do your warrior case studies. Practice it. Devil Dogs, I'm telling you, you sit before me and you half-assed a warrior case study, I am sending you home. These Marines can tell you, and they've heard me talk about Mr. Paige several times. Every single time I talk about that man, I am just as passionate, just as emotional, because I owe him that respect. Every single time. I like to run my Marines up that road. Isn't that correct, ma'am?
Correct, sir.
In honor, to honor him, I like to run Marines up that road because he gave his all for us, so damn it, we should give our all for him. Good to go? All right, what's going to happen from here is you're going to go ahead and pack up, and we're going to get